Hi ladies, thank you for joining me. I want to show you a 6-product, 6-minute makeup routine that you can do to just lift your spirits and just make yourself feel good in your own skin. Whether you're running to the grocery store or you're going to pick the kids up from school or whatever, you deserve to look your best and you deserve to feel your best. So I hope this helps. So we're going to start with brows, and if I were going to be dressing up and doing like a full face of makeup to go out or something, I would do something a little more structured with my brow tamer brush and eyeshadow and setting spray. But we have these eyebrow gels and they're fantastic. They have little tiny plant fibers that really help stick to your brows and thicken them a bit, so you're going to see what the difference is. We have light, medium, and dark, as well as clear. So if you already have really great brows, you would want to use the clear, because all you'd want to do is just brush them into place and make them stay. I'm going to be using medium. What I love about this is that, you know how if you've ever used brow gels before, it feels like super crispy and icky and like you can feel the product. This you don't feel at all. And also it doesn't get all sticky, but you see what's happening? It's depositing color, but it's also depositing little fibers that are going to thicken. If you go this way, it helps those fibers stick to your your brows, and then you can brush them out. You need a little extra help here right at the front where I'm missing some hair, and it just really thickens them. And brows are important because they really do frame your face. So you can see the difference in this one and this one. So I'm just going to do the other one now. That's a pretty significant difference right there. Okay, so that's the first product. So the second product is we're going to put on a little bit of foundation, and I'm using my complexion palette. And the reason that I love this palette is because when you get the foundation and 2 concealers of your choice, you're going to save money. This foundation and these concealers are going to last you for a good 4 to 6 months, just based, depending on how much you wear makeup. And there's lots of ways that you can apply it. But my third product is our Blenderful sponge. Our Blenderful is really different. It's got a really great shape to it to apply your foundation nicely, as well as concealers. But you can also use this to apply your powders and your bronzers and even your eyeshadow if you needed to in a pinch. So that's why I really recommend this. So I'm just going to take this. And one of the ways that I personally like to wear my foundation is with a little bit of moisturizer mixed in. Now, I didn't include this in the product because not everyone does this. I do, but not everyone does. I just put a little squirt in there, and so I didn't include that, but you could try that for sure. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to mix it in. You're just going to take your sponge like this and you're just going to roll it in. Now, the thing you need to know about our foundation is that it's super pigmented and it doesn't take a lot to get the coverage that you're looking for. And so what women love about it is that it doesn't feel like you're really wearing makeup. But watch how it evens out my skin tone. You can just kind of bounce and blend it onto your face like this. And you're gonna see how it just completely starts to even everything out. Takes away the redness. So I'd say the biggest compliment that I receive is that the foundation still makes your skin look like it's skin. It doesn't cover it up. It evens out the imperfections, and if you wanted to cover up, it would, because you can layer it, but putting a thin layer on is just going to even out your skin tone without covering up. Say if you have freckles, this is not going to cover up your freckles. We have so many shades of this foundation. This foundation is used on film sets. It has been around since the 50s, and the only thing that's changed about the foundation over the years is that when LimeLife started retailing it in our line, we had the parabens taken out. So it's paraben free, so it's actually really good for your skin. And there are only 3 ingredients in this foundation, and those ingredients have, just because it's so pure, so many people have noticed they've had help with their acne's cleared up, and so that's also another bonus. But because of the pigmentation being 50%, which you don't find in any kind of foundation anywhere, that's unheard of, except for with this foundation. You only use a tiny little amount, which means it's gonna last you for a really, really long time. So do you see what's happened here? And I'm talking to you guys, but literally you could just twist this in your foundation and you can just bounce and blend it all over your skin, and it's just gonna very quickly even out your skin tone. And there you go. And see how great that looks? It still looks like my skin. It just looks like better skin, right? Okay, so now I am gonna take concealer number 0, which is our lightest concealer, and I'm gonna take the tip of my Blenderful, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit, and I'm just gonna go right up under my eye, and this is gonna brighten. If you have under eye circles and it makes you feel tired all the time, that makes you feel self-conscious, you can take our concealer, which it's really fantastic. This concealer is opaque and it is waterproof, so once you put it on, it's not going anywhere. And I love it. I love that professional makeup artists use this, like Kevin Alcone, who used to use this as his foundation on his models because it has such great coverage. And he didn't believe in covering your entire face with foundation if you didn't need it. So he would take the concealer and he would just put it in the areas where someone might need it and have an even more natural look. So by doing this, this is just going to brighten up my face. And like I said, if you have those under eye circles, I mean, you're gonna feel like this has just woken you up. I'm gonna take it and I'm also gonna put it on my lid because not only does our concealer act as a concealer, it also acts as a primer. So I can prep my eyelids with the same concealer in whichever shade you want. I'm just using the 0. But you could go in, I could go into this one, which is number 2, and you get to choose the shade that's in your complexion palette, and you could choose a shade that's your skin tone so that you could use it for blemishes to cover up, you know, if you have extra blemishes or sun damage, or you could choose one for highlighting, or you could choose one for contouring. So it's really your choice as to what you would want to use it for. All right, so now I have primed my eyes and I have gotten rid of the darkness under my eye, my under eyes with that. Okay, so now I'm going to take our 4th product. This is our Trio palette. All of our palettes are customizable. So in this one, I have chosen our pressed powder along with bronzer number 2, which is a matte, and blush number 6, which is a beautiful blush that can also be used as a highlight. So the reason why this 6-product, 6-minute makeup routine is so fast and quick is because this palette is going to serve not only for our face but also for our eyes. So I'm just going to take the same Blenderful and I'm going to go right into the powder. Because it has that flat side that covers a large surface area, you just take it and you just dip it in there. Now I use my Blenderful damp when I apply my foundation. It just goes on better that way, and it's not so damp that it's going to bother the powder when you put it in the powder. It's totally fine, so just know that. So I'm just going to take it and press it into my skin, and you can put this in. What this is doing is it's setting your makeup so that it doesn't go anywhere. You can put it all over your skin. It's gonna also mattify it, which is gonna take away some of the shine, or you can just put it in the areas where you might have excessive oil. So that's totally a preference as well. So I'm just putting it in my T-zone, and I also like to take the tip like this and go right under the eyes and set that foundation under the eyes with the powder. You wanna take your ring finger and you wanna pat it out just to make sure there's no creasing before you do this, because once you do that, if it's creased, then it's gonna stay creased. So if you get that nice and smooth and then you put the powder on, then it's gonna set in, it's gonna be smooth all day. Now I'm gonna take the Blenderful and I'm gonna go into our bronzer number 2, and I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring right here in the hollows of my cheeks. And by doing that, I'm creating shadowing, and I'm giving the illusion that I've got higher cheekbones and that I've hollowed out my cheeks so that my cheekbones are sticking out, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna do this and just bounce it and blend it in, and I'm gonna go up with it like this. I'm not doing it on my cheekbone because on my cheekbone, or on my cheekbone, but on the apples of my cheeks, that's where that is where our blush is gonna go. I'm also taking this around my hairline. This is not something that you have to do, but if you have a tall forehead like I have, then this is a great way to give the illusion that it's not as tall. And so it kind of brings the eye down. because you've shaded that area, okay? You could use this all over. You could take it, if you wanted to go down the side of your face, you could do your nose, to thin your nose, you could do that. If you wanted to create a different jawline, you could do that, but we're doing a really fast routine. So now I'm gonna take blush number 6. This is a beautiful blush. You can use it as a highlight. If you wet your brush with setting spray and use it, it's gonna pop even more. But a quick little tip is Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist loves this particular blush, and he says every woman should have it in their makeup bag, and I agree, because I really do love it. It's just a really subtle glow that can be used not only on your cheeks, but it can also be used in places like here, right on your collarbone there, to give yourself a little extra glow. I'm just gonna take this with our brush number 1 and pop that right there on the apples of my cheeks. It's just a super subtle glow. Again, we're going to the grocery store, we're gonna go pick up the kids, we're gonna go, shop around Target for an hour or so we don't need a lot. So this one trio palette is gonna cover your entire face and your eyes, which is what we're gonna use it for next. And I'm just gonna use 2 brushes. Our 2 brushes that I'm using are going to be our pointed blender brush and our large eyeshadow brush. So now, the large shadow brush is going to go into number 6, and I'm going to pop that on the lid. And then I'm going to take the pointed blender brush and go right into the bronzer. And we're going to use that in the crease. But look how that just kind of opened up my eyes, right? Just one palette. Now we're going to use our black Perfect Mascara. This is a fiber mascara with the fibers built in. It's super awesome. Now, one thing I did do is I went ahead and curled my lashes, which is something you don't have to do, but I like it because I feel like it opens my eyes up. And I like the mascara because our mascara is buildable. Just like our foundation, it's buildable. So you can put as many coats on as you want to get the desired thickness and length that you're looking for. The tiny little plant fibers inside are going to give you that lengthening that you're looking for. You can do 1 coat and you can let it almost dry and go back with another coat. You can also use the very tip of the wand to do this, and that will deposit some of the fibers on the tips of your lashes to give you even more length. But do you see how that's just opened up my eyes? Look at the difference in this one and this one. There you go. And the very last product, the 6th product I have to tell you about, is an enduring lip color. This shade I've chosen today is called Creme Brulee, and it has a pinky mauve-y shade. We have lots of shades to choose, and I'm gonna apply this, and I really love the ELCs because they're gonna stay put. These are gonna last you for, I think, up to 8 hours. Of course, a little will wear off when you're eating and drinking, but the majority of it stays, and it's really great. I love it because it's not drying at all. And when you're running around and doing errands, you want your lipstick to stay, so this is my preference. And there we go. How simple was that? 6 products in 6 minutes. You can totally do this. If you guys would like for me to match you with a foundation shade or concealer shades or any of these products, because you can choose any powder to go in this that you want, you could do, like, instead of a bronzer, you could do one of our beautiful blushes that can also be put on your eyes as well. So it's your choice, and it's just a really great way to make yourself feel great for the rest of the day and do a little something for yourself. So if I can help you with anything, please let me know, and thank you for watching.